Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Next Team podcast, episode 29. So, today I'm your host, Pramod, and I know this is a phrase I often say, elephant in the room, but I guess before we move to the elephant in the room, I would like to, have a few seconds to sort of talk about how the whole week has been very disheartening for me in that my tennis idol, Federer, has been dethroned as the GOAT by Djokovic. And Messi won the Copa America, meaning that he officially is now the best player. And CR7 is no longer possibly in that bracket. I don't know.
Nope.
But
I mean,
that's for another debate.
different. Never mind, different
But
debate.
anyway, moving on from all that, what has made it even worse is the fact that England played Italy and unfortunately lost. And I know I've talked about my blind loyalty, but this has evoked a lot of sentiments in me and the rest of us as well. So we like to raise our concerns and our voices as football fans. So anyway, today in our episode we have Arjun, we have Tarun, and we have fellow Man United fan Vikas, who equally despairs with me from the missed penalties by our resident United boys. But anyway, moving on, I guess first things first, guys, overview. What do you guys generally feel? How are you guys feeling the day after the match?
I feel gutted, honestly. Yeah, it's quite. I didn't realize how much I wanted England to win until the final whistle, honestly. Or rather, after the last kick of the penalty. Like it was a gripping game, It was a really gripping game.
Yeah. Arjun, I know you must have been the most affected.
I mean, I've been a neutral for international games since I started watching football. So, yeah, but I do feel, I guess, like in the sense that Italy have seen their success, like we have seen success at this stage way more than England has ever done. So, in that sense, I was rooting for England. In that sense, I saw England as the underdog. And the way they lost is very cruel. I mean, in a penalty shootout, it's a toss of a coin. I mean, I was watching the TalkSport interview that Mourinho did just before coming on, and he did criticize Southgate's choices for the takers, and I guess we can talk about that later. But he said that honestly, he's lost so many penalty shootouts, even having his best players take the first few penalties. So it's really hard to fixate on that. I think what I was more disappointed with was after they got the early goal, I think they didn't press the momentum enough, and I think in a final you have to be brave to win. Yeah, there's always the factor of managing games and grinding out those wins. But in a final, in a one-off game where the Euros is at stake, I expected more from England, and I was quite disappointed in that sense.
Yeah, I think before we talk about the sort of the sitting back and letting the team soak out the pressure, let's hear from Tarun about his overview about the game. Yeah.
Yeah, unlike the three of you, I was actually rooting for Italy to win.
Okay.
So it was a really good night for me, sitting in a room full of England supporters and watching England lose. That was nice.
Wait, was the sentiment constant even after Henderson was on the pitch?
I was rooting for Henderson. I wasn't rooting for England. There's a difference. And then,
the moment he got taken off, I think that's it.
The moment he got taken off, there was
basically, Tarun wanted Henderson hat-trick and then England to lose 4-3.
Yeah, that would be. I will take it.
Okay, I think. Okay, so that's a very good opening sort of start for our discussion. Yeah, go ahead.
I do have to quote Pramod and say last night was a delectable medley of footballing splendor.
Yes.
That's
amazing
a very good
football.
game.
That's an understatement, to be honest.
One of the best finals I've watched.
Yeah, definitely. Like from a neutral perspective, I still enjoyed the game, despite England losing, I guess.
Okay, so let's start off with like the team selection. Let's go in chronological order. So clearly they played a back five, wing backs, Trippier and Luke Shaw. So what do you guys feel about that? Was it right decision, wrong decision?
I think
it was a good call. I would say.
Straight away, it's a good call. I mean, you saw it. Italy were caught out. Caught out. The first goal, my man Roberto Carlos.
Yeah, I think it's been cemented. That's
the technique he showed to finish that. My God, that was a striker's finish. That was a world class striker's finish at the top of his game finish.
Yeah. he was very calm. That's what surprised me. How calmly he took the ball out of the, like, it's not easy to find that angle and finish it. And Donnarumma, like, he's a class keeper and he had no chance.
He was stunned.
No chance. He
He
was
was
stunned.
stunned.
I think.
Yeah.
Stunned.
Yeah.
No, the thing about that volley was the technique he showed at such early. I mean, so early in the game. It's very easy to, because it's a big occasion. You get caught up in the moment and then you snatch at that chance. He's not even supposed to be in that position of attacking the ball at that point in time, but he's there. He's calm, very technical. He goes knee over the ball, keeping the shot down, making sure that he gets a good contact on it, and he hits it as sweet as a nut, and it goes hits the side of the post and goes in. 1-0 England. And then I thought at that point, I think it was still quite a open game. I mean, it was okay, 2 minutes in only, but at the still point, I mean, at that point, I thought that okay, England are going to take control of the game. It's actually going to come home. I can't believe that actually they haven't bottled it for once. But yeah, I mean, soon after we saw what happened,
Yeah.
But I think coming back to the point, probably 5 at the back, I think there was the right call. I mean, all of them are questioning Southgate's call. I mean, against Germany, it seemed justified because they used to play the back. I mean, Germany had a 3 at the back and 2 guys who would play up and down. But against Italy, it seemed like a wrong decision at the start. I think most people criticized him for that. But I think second minute, immediately Southgate proved that whatever decision he's made so far in the tournament has been right.
Yeah.
And I think Arjun wanted to say something about decisions. I don't know if it's regarding this or was it regarding the penalties or like do you want to raise it now or?
I more than like the shape of the team, I just feel like they didn't show enough courage. Like there's definitely enough quality in that England team to trouble their defense even more. And I don't know, like
so do you feel like sitting back and soaking up pressure shows like inexperience and fear rather than going out for it after the first goal? Do you feel like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because they don't get to this stage very often, there is that extra pressure because you never know when is the next time they're going to get to that stage. And yeah, I mean, you can argue that this is a very young team, and
he did try 4 at the back after a while. Right?
But it was very late in the game. I mean, see, that's the thing. Right now, you can say it worked because they scored in the second minute. But to be honest, in the majority of the game, Italy were the ones that were dominating possession. They were dominating the shot count. Only, I mean, they were putting in constant pressure, and it seemed like England were actually coping quite well, to be very honest.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't creating many chances, but I thought Kane was class the first half, especially. He was playing as a midfielder. He was controlling the midfielder. He created actually the first goal. It was created by him. He set up Trippier, and there were a couple of good moves, which didn't necessarily end up in goals, but could have ended up in another day.
Yeah.
So I thought, in the sense that at that point in time, it seemed like the game plan was perfect. Southgate wasn't really going for the jugular, if you like to call it, but he was playing pragmatic football. They got the early lead. It seemed like the perfect game plan at that point in time. But I think once they conceded, that's when everything went. The plan was, I guess, thrown out the window. That's why
I think that was a proper sucker punch to them. Like even immediately after the equalizer, you could see like, in a way, their heads dropped and like they didn't really. You expect a response, right? When you concede a goal, and then at this point it's like it's most likely whoever scores the second goal within the 90 minutes takes the game. And so I was expecting them to really push for it, and there's no reason why they couldn't have. I think like what Pramod said, that pressure maybe just got to them a bit.
I think it also shows like the wealth or like the huge divide or like the gap between Mancini and Southgate. One is bringing on Belotti, Berardi, Locatelli, all these players. The other brings on 2 penalty takers.
I feel that's a bit harsh though, because I mean, we're talking because England lost on penalties. It's a lottery end of the day, but in 120 minutes you couldn't separate the sides. That's the truth, I mean, whether you like it or not.
On a scoreline basis, right?
Yes. I would say 120 minutes of football you couldn't separate the teams, So it's a bit hard to say that there was a gulf in quality in terms of the managers. I don't buy that.
I think Mancini trying to win it, whereas Southgate is just settling for the.
I would say that, but that didn't play into the result. That's my point. That's the thing. It didn't determine the result. The result was determined by the penalty takers.
But I do agree that Pramod is right in saying that Mancini technically did, in the sense that yes, the scoreline was 1-1, but it was clear that if there was any team that was going to win it in the 90 minutes, it was Italy. And I think credit
Thank-
goes to Mancini. And
Yeah.
I guess we're speaking about England quite a lot. I think we should speak about one player in Italy that I think for me stood out, and that's Chiesa. I mean, I think he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Completely
definitely,
unbelievable. I think
one of the best
England
right
defenders
wingers.
they don't know what to
Yeah.
do. Honestly, every time he ran at them, they were like
There
panicking.
was this insane run. I don't know. I forgot it was the
Declan
first
Rice,
half.
right?
First half,
Declan
right?
Rice.
Second half. Yeah, Declan
Yeah.
Rice. He he sold Declan Rice, and then
Skilled him to the teeth. He
Yep.
just like,
and then he just
What a-
zoomed past,
what a
and then
player,
Pickford was just stranded. Honestly, he didn't know what hit him. Honestly, it just flew past the side of the goal, which was. I mean, if anyone wanted an equalizer, I think that would have been a perfect equalizer, lah. But I mean, obviously the equalizer came much later, which will come to that soon, I think.
yeah. So I think we're almost sort of done with the whole Southgate tactical chat. But before we sort of move on maybe to the second goal, maybe you can also touch up on the timing of the substitutions. Do you guys feel like it was too late? Because at the end of the day, if you compare to Italy's substitutions, I think 52nd, 54th minute, they started. Whereas for us, for England, for England, he only brought in like the likes of Rashford, Sancho, and it was purely for the penalty purpose, which also didn't work. But that's for
Yeah.
hindsight. But
Yeah.
he wasn't. I feel like he wasn't proactive enough. He was more like, okay, let's just.
Essentially, for whatever reason, I don't think Southgate was trying to win it in the 90 minutes.
Mhm.
Like, if you just look at the subs that he made,
Yeah.
to bring on Henderson and Saka, I guess Saka at least makes sense because it's to transition to a back four. But I mean, obviously I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm going to be supporting Henderson all the way. But the fact that he would be bringing him on instead of someone like Grealish
Yeah.
to try and win the game for you, it's
Okay,
I don't understand it.
I can see why he brought on Henderson, to be honest, because I think we were losing. Okay, I keep saying we again. England were losing the midfield battle. In general, I think the double pivot of both Rice and the Calvin, they had a good game, no doubt. But I think he wanted more control of the midfield, which is why he brought on Henderson. But yeah, you can argue that you want him to make more attacking substitutions. But I think he wanted to still continue playing with a back five.
Mhm.
Which is why he probably brought on Henderson instead of
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
attacking players. So I'm not too critical of that, to be very honest, because I think he still wanted to give the team that was there a chance. Because I mean, until the moment they scored, they were always on the back foot, England, because Italy, okay, first of all, like, credit to Italy for not panicking at all. Wembley, second minute, Shaw scores. I mean, whole of England is in raptures. It's so easy to just lose your head and then just go 2-3-0 down. But at no point did they lose their calmness. They still went at it as a team, stuck together. Chiellini was playing as a left back and a centre back at the same time, which I don't know how it's possible.
At the age of 36,
He was making overlapping runs into the box.
Yep.
What a man. Honestly, that partnership is like now immortalized after this.
Yeah, let's
say.
finish the Southgate chat, then we move on to.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because-
I mean, pretty much. I wouldn't I mean, personally, I feel like his decisions will always not the most popular ones, lah. But I think he has gotten it right 9 times out of 10 this tournament, lah.
True.
Even in
Yeah,
the final,
yeah, definitely.
even in the final, I think he got. I would say it's. I mean, end of the day, I think it's for me. I would say he got it right, lah. It's just unlucky.
It's just the fact that it's a final that amplifies the mistake.
Yeah,
exactly.
But it's still the mistake that everyone would make, like, normally. So yeah, I think that's a good way to sort of transition. So yeah, like what Arjun was saying, the partnership has been amazing from Italy. Credit to them. And of course, one of the key vital part of the defense was that partnership. And one of the members of the partnership is Bonucci, who scored the second goal and equalized for Italy. So I think it's good to talk about how it was coming. Like you guys said, we England was sitting back and England were inviting.
Just say we.
I keep saying
Just say we understand.
fine,
It's
it's
fine.
fine.
Everyone
Fine,
understands
fine,
at this
fine.
point. Just
Just
say
own
we.
it.
fine.
fine.
Yeah. Anyway,
Stick with
so
the
yeah,
instincts.
sitting back, inviting the pressure clearly cost England. And then, so yeah, Arjun, you're talking about the centre back partnership, right? So yeah, and, I think it's up there with one of the best partnerships ever, right?
What is it about Italy and great centre back partnerships?
They always produce. They seem to keep producing
Maldini,
talent.
Nesta, Baresi. I mean, you can keep going.
Yep.
And I think someone we have to talk about as well as part of the defense is Donnarumma, who I think is the player of the tournament, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
he
mean,
was.
I want to disagree, by the way, for him winning.
Yeah,
I don't think it's fair to give him. I think he's been extraordinary. tournament, but I do not think he's the best player in the Italian team
I
who
agree.
actually deserves to get the.
Yeah.
If you want to give anyone from Italy, I think someone like perhaps Spinazzola or even someone at the back.
I guess it's because of the penalty shootout, both semi-final
guess.
and final.
Yeah,
why.
but I mean, if you want to look at it, keep the best measure for keepers clean sheets, like Pickford has technically kept the most clean sheets,
Yeah.
and in the penalty shootouts he didn't do half bad as well, lah.
Yeah,
which-
Pickford kept them.
Actually, yeah, that one
Yeah,
we can talk about.
yeah, we'll come to that. But yeah, what I would say is, I do not believe that Donnarumma was. He had a fantastic tournament, no doubt, but not the best player.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Or I would agree.
Yeah.
But just saying like to follow up after Buffon, right? It's not an easy thing to do. And he's 22 and he's handling it with ease. And I mean, I know we're talking about the penalties later, but I'm just gonna say the way he reacted after he saved the penalty, like
there was no reaction. There was
no,
nothing.
just cold,
Yeah.
cold-blooded
Ice
guy, that guy. And
Ice
yeah,
cold,
he's going to go to PSG after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting the bag.
I think yeah, Tarun, do you have something? Sorry.
I mean, I actually disagree with you guys. I feel that he did deserve to win player of the tournament.
Okay.
Because, because you said clean sheets are the best measure of a goalkeeper's performance, right? I disagree. Clean sheets are a measure of the defense's performance. And
Okay.
I will say England have had the better defense, but Donnarumma for me has played better.
Okay, but if you were to compare man to man, Maguire, Stones, Chiellini, and
man to man on paper, Italy.
I would say
are better.
Italy edged it, to be
But
honest.
you look at the way both teams have played. Italy, they constantly play with their entire team in the second half, in the opposition half, as opposed to how England play, which is a bit more sit back and soaking up the pressure.
Yeah, true.
Which favors the keeper.
Plus, I think.
Okay, I mean, it's debatable, but I think we can move on. It's okay. No, go on for a while.
Yeah, but okay lah. So end of the day, Italy's defense is amazing. I have no idea
no
how
doubt.
this team hasn't qualified for the 2018 World Cup, but revolutionized the team, Mancini. I talk about Mancini also.
34 games unbeaten. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So anything else you guys want to say about Italy? They can move on to like
the goal. Let's move on to the goal.
To the goal, yeah. So I guess okay lah. So to be fair, I have to give Pickford a lot of credit. He made like an amazing save before Bonucci,
he did, yeah.
Do you guys think maybe Mount could have done better? Because honestly, I feel like if Mount
Tarun has a lot of interesting things to say about.
He wasn't marking his man at that point. I don't know. It's a bit harsh, but
okay lah. I will say it's maybe a bit harsh to blame him for that goal. He should have done better, maybe, yeah. But it's not his fault that they considered. But he had a terrible game.
Yeah.
I think he was very subpar. Yeah, true.
For his standards, definitely.
I think
60 minutes at most.
I think all of us were calling for Mount to get taken off, but he kept him on till like 90. Even he played a bit of extra time as well, if I'm not wrong. So I think Mount
came off in the 99th minute.
Yeah.
He had a very subpar game overall. So yeah, that's quite bad to see. But the goal itself, I thought, was quite brilliant. I think it was just sustained Italian pressure. They just carried on where they left off in the first half. Never gave England a chance. They just kept going, and eventually they knocked down the brick wall that is Jordan Pickford.
Yeah. I mean, he has been a brick wall, to be fair to him.
Yes, he really has. He had a very good game. Apart from the goal.
Right?
Yep, definitely. He's been solid. He's been rock solid, and I think you have to give him credit for that. But Bonucci scored. I have him in FPL.
Nice. Same.
Yes.
But
yeah, go ahead.
No, I think just the goal, right? Like what he said, the sustained Italian pressure. I think this goal just typifies their spirit, like their ability to stay strong and resilient. 1-0 down at your opponent's home ground, and they just looked on it all the way, and
I guess it speaks of the volumes of experience that Italy and the defense, specifically those two, have.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You can't have a team with like 60,000 people opposing you and you still have the spirit to fight back. And if it happened the other way, right, like England or Italy's home ground, right, this would never have happened.
Do you all think that the age was a factor in how the game turned out? Just curious. Like the average age of
experience
England
was a factor.
Yeah, experience is definitely
more than age, experience. Like if look at Bellingham, Foden, these are young people, but they got experience at playing in the highest level, like Champions League semi-final, final. And if more English players like Rice Phillips, they're still not at the highest level in a club, right? I feel over the next 15 months before the World Cup, if they are able to I don't know if Rice may move to another team. I don't know. Phillips is also probably sought after. If they go to a much bigger club, they can get used to soaking up pressure from fans. And that's a big element of
Yeah,
this.
the expectations, right?
Yeah,
Getting used to those expectations. I think,
But
like what you say, Rice is probably looking or angling for a move to Chelsea because he is a boyhood Chelsea fan, or maybe who knows, United.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Next
take him
summer.
gladly, but
Yeah.
Would be
yeah,
nice.
that would be amazing. Like there'll be like 4 or 5 players from the England starting 11 in United: Sancho, Rice, Maguire, Shaw.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay,
we
but
can
anyway,
dream, Prama. We can dream.
yeah.
We can always dream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay lah. So I guess anything else you guys want to
Yeah.
add on second goal?
I think it's a good goal. It is well deserved, lah. I think Italy, as in, I think we didn't realize how well Italy were playing until they scored the goal, because after that I think they showed the stats on the screen, and then like you saw like they dominated possession. They were dominating the shots. England had 2 shots, 1 on target, as opposed to like Italy 7 shots, 6
shots. 7 shots, 4 on target from not
4
wrong.
on target. Yeah, correct. Something like that.
They had like 71% possession or something like that.
They were dominating, like
It was
absolutely
absolute dominance.
playing.
I saw a step of Kane. He didn't have a touch in the 18-yard box, according to Alan Shearer. That's what he said. After
Okay,
the
but
case.
that was
That's
also
a
okay. You
weird-
can't criticize Kane because he was
Yeah,
actually playing
true.
at some point he was playing a centre mid, and he was
He was
playing his
playing
role
cam,
better than he was
Yeah.
playing his role better than a lot of number 10s in the world, I would say.
Yeah.
In all
I
honesty.
think I don't know if you want to track back to the whole Southgate thing, but I feel like maybe I don't know. To exploit Kane, you need to use him as a full number 9. If you make him drop back a bit, I don't know.
No,
Sometimes
but
feel,
I feel like, I mean, he's been doing that role in Spurs.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's probably his, and I think this is probably one of his best returns by I mean, topping the goal scoring and assist charts. And it's like a new element of his game that he's added to.
And
which-
also,
yeah.
the
What?
first goal came that way, because he dropped deep and came into the midfield and found Trippier with that pass. So
Yeah.
I think it
Class.
was the right decision.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. And also, okay. So I think we can next talk about. Wow. Do we have to talk about? Okay, we
Extra
got
time.
to talk about it. I guess
Extra time. Okay, let's
time-
go to extra time first. So, I mean, what do you
Like
want?
very quick.
Extra
campaign.
time was just a.
Is there really anything?
and
The subs
was-
lah. I would say the subs
Yeah,
were the
subs.
most notable
Yeah.
part of extra time.
Do you guys think you could have added someone else, or like order wise or anything? Foden, Sancho, maybe.
I mean,
earlier.
that's
I don't know.
See,
Earlier
the thing
maybe.
is, yeah, I mean, what I've saw and what I've seen in social media on the fans. Okay, we'll come to that. I'm not talking about that thing you're thinking about, but something else. It's more to do with the fact that perhaps he could have taken off. He took off Walker for the penalty shootout, right? Maybe he would have done that a lot earlier, like maybe earlier in extra time, a lot earlier probably. That's a lot of calls made by English fans. But I mean, I guess
I don't think you could have taken off Walker earlier though. I mean, that's basically taking away the right back, and looking
true.
at Italy's left, it would have been disaster, I would say.
Yeah.
True.
I guess maybe you could have gone harder to win it towards the end of extra time instead of
I guess
just
so.
Yeah, take the risk, is what I say.
yeah. Because come on, I mean, we all talked about this. Donnarumma versus Pickford. We clearly know who's going to be the winner if it goes
Okay,
to
to be
penalties.
fair, Pickford held his own.
Okay, to be fair, yes.
Okay,
but-
yes. Okay, come.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I think
anyway.
okay. So, but overall, I would say in terms of I mean, if I were to compare it to like perhaps, I think he did something similar to Ole in the Europa League final, where he brought in the good penalty takers, or supposedly good penalty takers, Rashford and Sancho. Rashford, of course, we know he scored that penalty against PSG, so he has a good record going into the penalty shootout. Sancho, I'm not too sure about his record for Dortmund, but I heard he does take penalties, if I am not wrong. So, I mean, on paper, I think it's still it's a good decision to make. Bring them on, but whether you take off Henderson, I am not too sure, because Henderson is one of your more experienced players, who, I mean, may not be the best penalty taker in the team, but you need your experienced heads to handle the pressure. And perhaps maybe that was one mistake, one of the few mistakes Southgate made, which I personally felt like, because I think Henderson is one of the older players, and like what you guys said, experience matters in a big final, especially in penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus also the social media uproar also, if you guys haven't noticed, is the fact that Sancho and Rashford didn't even touch the ball until they took the penalty, and they apparently didn't warm up at all. Apparently that was a big criticism. So would you rather have someone who barely touched the ball, like Rashford was playing right back, because they were just sitting back at the end of the extra time. Then Sancho barely touched it. Then your first thing to do is take a decisive penalty, and you didn't warm up also because you came on so late, and I don't know why they didn't warm up apparently. So
Yeah.
these
Maybe
are the
not
questions
ideal,
that
lah.
you have to ask for
Yeah, lah.
Southgate's. But yeah, at the end of the day, 9 out of 10, like what Vikas said, he was right. So credit.
I mean, to be fair, he's one of the most successful managers recently. For England,
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
all this uproar and criticism of his decisions, which are warranted. Like I feel some of them, but still, overall, I think the penalty taking thing may be a bit blown out of water.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of penalties,
Let's go to the elephant in the room, I think.
Yeah.
this is the elephant's horn on the elephant. Oh gosh, but yeah, it pains for me to
Let's
see.
go penalty by penalty. Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
the first one was by
First one, Tomiko Berardi.
Berardi.
Berardi, what did Berardi do? He scored, right? It was quite comfortable. I
It
think
was very
Pickford
comfortable. Pickford went wrong way.
Yeah.
Good
Didn't
penalty.
do much.
Good penalty. So 1-0 England down at Wembley. Okay, I think England fans, here we go again.
Yeah.
And then step up. Who was the first guy to step up?
Kane.
Harry Kane, captain, fantastic. People thought maybe he might take the 5th penalty, but okay.
Did his job.
They probably wanted him. Yeah, it was a proper penalty, proper striker's penalty.
Side
Bottom
netting,
corner,
I think.
no chance for Donnarumma.
Yeah, very.
Full stretch, Donnarumma couldn't save that. No one is saving that.
Yeah.
It's just perfectly placed.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and-
This was. I found it a bit strange that he wasn't taking the decisive penalty. I would say if anyone in the English team had to take the decisive penalty, it would be Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
something we
but
will
It's
also-
fair, lah.
Also, you can, I mean, just to offer a counter argument, you need a good start in a penalty shootout, especially to set the tone. Would you want a youngster to take instead? Maybe they could have shuffled the order around a bit, but you would. I mean, there's a lot of arguments. Like I can also say that you want your best penalty taker to be the first penalty taker, so he gets it out of the way and gives you a good start. Imagine let's say the Italians actually missed the first penalty, 1-0 up, you have the advantage, and then from there it gets slightly easier for your younger players to come and take the penalties. So that's another argument you guys can think about also. But yeah, I guess good penalty. Either way, it's a very good penalty.
I think, I don't know if you want to go chronologically. I don't remember all the Italian penalties, but I know Maguire's one for fact.
Okay.
He
Okay,
got
wait,
the camera with his shot.
Do you all have the?
I think the second one was by
Yeah, let's just go in order. After Harry Kane was
Berardi.
the Belotti penalty.
Belotti. Yes.
Belotti,
Okay.
He missed, right?
Yep.
I saw his
Yeah.
face immediately.
It's
I was
like-
telling Vikas he's going to miss. He
Yep.
missed it.
I think you can see a lot of things in the face, which is quite interesting. Honestly, it's an interesting observation. Like from the player's face, like you can tell whether he's confident or not, whether he's going to score. And Belotti did not look confident. You can see the fear in his eyes. And I think the players with fear, they generally tend to miss more often than not. And I think Pickford saved it, right? Is it?
Yeah.
It was
Yes,
saved?
Pickford saved it.
saved it.
Yep, it's a very good save. Pickford stepping up after. I mean, I think credit to. I think Pickford has really been one of England's standout players. I mean,
Yeah.
I think for all the criticism he's gotten, I mean, he has had to deal with his demons throughout the tournament. I think with, the bad side of Pickford, like him losing possession, having some careless throws and getting intercepted by strikers. All that aside, he has been one of England's top performers. So, I think
I will admit it. I spent every single England game, I was just waiting for Pickford to make a mistake. And like, especially knockout stages, I was like, oh my God, he's going to be the reason they got every single game. And then right up to the penalty shootout, I was still like, oh, he's going to lose the game for them. But to his
In
credit,
fact,
he didn't.
if anything, he was the one who saved.
Yeah, he was the
he
one
gave
who
them a
actually
chance,
kept them in the game.
He gave them a
in
chance.
the
He
last
also
second
actually
last-
made this insane save I think in extra time, if I'm not wrong. It was a corner or something, and then Italians were just bombarding the box. And
That's
then I
one
think
that
he
hit
just,
his face.
the one he just stood his ground. Then I think he took one to his chest or shoulder.
Yeah.
It was really, really good to watch. So I think So I think we're moving on from Belotti's penalty.
Maguire.
Step up, Maguire. So I mean, okay.
Big
So
boy
myself
Maguire.
and my friend, basically we were like we were taunting Tarun the whole game about Man United players doing well, and step up
Oh, this was-
Maguire.
I don't turn them back.
And all this while we
Sorry.
were just joking at this
Yeah.
point in time. We were just talking about Luke Shaw and Maguire doing well. And then the second penalty, we see Maguire stepping up. Both of us are trembling. That's all I can say. It's like I could just see it in the back papers. Maguire misses. England crash up. And then And then my man Maguire takes the best penalty of the whole tournament.
Yeah, it's
Top corner.
unsavable. Those kind of
That is unsavable. What a
Power
penalty.
placement.
You see the
Everything.
camera, he went like blank after he
Yeah,
shot.
went black.
Yeah, he took out the camera.
He took out
Yeah.
the camera. What a pen. What a pen.
It looks like those Chris MD videos where he says, "I'm going for the GoPro." He basically did that, picking
Yep.
European final.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a class
But, yeah.
pen.
Class
And-
pen. Class pen.
Last
Yeah.
time.
Was
Okay,
centre
so
back, I didn't expect it, honestly.
yeah, so this is the question that I want to ask you guys. So I'm sure a defender is never, I don't know lah. Usually is a defender in the second
Unless like
choice.
you're like Ramos, like a specialist for penalties.
Okay, but I doubt Maguire is a
Sergio
specialist,
Ramos.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So,
he
so
doesn't.
why is he taking? So if he's allowed to say, "Oh, I'm taking a second penalty," why is Saka? Why is someone like I don't know Sterling, Luke Shaw, Stones have more experience?
Probably, I mean,
Not
okay,
saying that I'll
I
take
watched-
fifth penalty
I
over.
watched
Saka.
the post-match interview. I think Southgate was the one that decided in the end who the 5 penalty takers are.
Yeah.
And probably it was set in stone before the game itself. I think there was maybe a bit of shuffling around, but more or less, I think it was discussed before that Saka was going to take the 5th penalty and
Yeah.
Maguire was probably going to take the 2nd penalty. And I think it's based on, and okay, to be honest, they haven't really been tested in penalties the whole tournament. So
Yeah. True.
it's something they had to discuss.
I don't even think they get tested in training.
No, but
Because
if
you're
I'm not
kicking
wrong, right?
against Nick Pope, Ramsdale versus Donnarumma, it's like
Okay,
massive.
but if I'm not wrong, right, Southgate did say that it was based on training.
Yeah.
Like it was based on training, the first 5. So yeah,
yeah.
there was a reasoning. There was the reasoning behind
Okay,
it.
yeah, fair. And like you guys say, his decisions have been right 90%. So
Yeah.
you have to give him credit.
Okay, so moving on from Maguire's top corner, who's next?
Bonucci.
Bonucci, I think is a good penalty, right?
Yeah, it's
I
a good
think
penalty.
Pickford went the right way. I think, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Bonucci has been pretty good in penalties.
I
in
think,
general.
yeah, Bonucci took a bit of a started run up.
Mm,
Pickford dived first, and then Bonucci still went the same way, and he scored.
Yep.
yeah.
That was
And
nice.
Yep. Then.
And then the infamous.
So
I
sad.
felt that. I felt that. I really felt that. I felt so bad.
Was it Sancho or Rashford first?
It was Rashford first.
Rashford first.
Okay, Rashford first.
So I don't know. I personally find starters very, very.
No, do you know what he did? There was a talk before after the game, right, where he tried a different run up apparently. So he was standing straight behind the ball, if you notice. And
Yeah.
then he was doing this weird like he was trying to eye Donnarumma. Then once the referee blew the whistle, right, he took 10 seconds before he started taking steps. If you all notice. Then I was like, why are you doing something that you've never done before? You have taken a penalty in Paris against like all the odds and scored the winner for us. Why not like?
I mean,
just
you
doing
never know.
what-
Like, maybe it's something he's been practicing in training, like for this moment.
I feel like
But yeah, it didn't work out in the end, lah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, to be honest, he was very close to it. I mean,
yeah.
he like the intention with our starter was good because Donnarumma did go the wrong way. He saw
Yeah.
him going to his left, right? So that's why he went for the right. It's just unlucky. He hit the post.
when
I think-
you talk about a game of fine margins, right? England literally lost by 2 centimeters. If that was past the
Yeah,
post into in, then they are probably winning.
Yep.
It's 3-3. Yeah.
3-3. Yeah.
That's how.
So
fine.
yeah, I mean, the moment Rashford missed, I just knew if England were going to lose this, it's not good. Especially since he's a player of, I mean, he's a black player, lah. I mean, really, it's unfortunate that all of us have to think that way, but and that's how English fans are, lah. Which we'll come to that soon. But yeah, I just knew the moment Rashford missed, oh no, this is not good. This is not good at all.
Yeah, definitely.
I was very worried for him, lah, honestly.
I hope as a United fan this doesn't bring his confidence down for the new season. Hopefully he gets back from that. We shall see lah.
Yep.
I'm
And
sure he's
then
a strong boy.
next penalty was Bernardeschi.
Bernardeschi, yeah.
Yeah, and
Another good penalty.
straight to the center. Takes a
Mhm.
lot of balls to go down
Balls,
the
yeah.
center. Yep, and I mean it worked out in the end, so no one can say anything. I mean, if Pickford saves it, it becomes a very horrible penalty. But
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that's the thing.
that's why I always believe penalty is a lottery. As long as you keep it on target, you're giving yourself a chance. So
Yeah. That's fair enough.
I think it's unfair to say this is a bad penalty, this is a good penalty, because end of the day it goes in the net. It's every penalty that is on target is a penalty that you can consider it's a good penalty, lah, to me. As long as it's on target, it's a good penalty. Yeah. So
Mm. And then
And then
next
the-
up steps,
Next, infamous.
Jadon Sancho,
Sancho.
new number 7.
what a bargain, Mr. Pramod.
why are you using my words against me? This has nothing to do.
I mean, no, I'm just saying.
No, lah, I mean, yeah,
I mean, I was also the biggest advocate for him being a bargain one. So,
Okay.
I mean, this doesn't really change much. In my
Once again, I want to remind everyone about the fact that they hadn't warmed up, they hadn't touched the ball. First touch of the ball was a penalty. Maybe it could have caused this miss. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe you
but
could have played it.
again, as I said, it was on target. Donnarumma made an excellent save. It was, I mean, criticism-wise, it wasn't too central as well. It was, I mean, it was. I think just Donnarumma in general is just a hard keeper to beat in penalties, lah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Plus,
It's
he went
huge.
for placement.
But how do you even guess which way to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can
I
cover
think
like
even if
more
he
than half
dives,
the
his
goals.
legs are so long that he probably covers the other side also.
Yeah, you can't go. I don't think you can go to the center with Donnarumma because he will just use his trailing leg to kick it over or something like that. He's so long.
It's just
And then-
intimidating.
Yeah. Plus,
Plus, he
Sancho,
definitely
he
side-
went for placement.
Yeah.
So even if he was in the corner, right, Donnarumma has enough time to get to there, and that's why he made the save.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think like most of the players who missed went for placement. Only Maguire went for the power, and I think Kane was kind of
I think
a
if
mixture.
you think about it, all
Kane
the
was everything. Yeah.
power penalties were the ones that actually worked against Donnarumma. So perhaps it's something they
Yeah,
could
maybe
have
they should
looked
have
at.
studied that.
But
yeah.
and then again, as in, I mean, you can when things don't go your way, you can analyze. You can say this
Yeah.
didn't go up. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's something they would have considered, but I guess it didn't work out at the end. We wouldn't be. I mean, on another day, England could have won on penalties also. So.
I think Vardy should have been in the squad. You know, the Vardy penalty where he just blasts it.
smashes it in the middle.
I think that's what you need for Donnarumma. But
Yeah.
Arjun was saying something.
No, because I mean, maybe they could have gone for power, but with power penalties also there's a wider
There's a huge
wider
risk
margin.
factor.
No. Yeah,
Error,
like
margin of error. Yeah.
it could have been a John Terry. He could have skied it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very hard to say now that you should have done that.
Mm.
Hindsight is 2020.
So the next penalty was by
Jorginho.
Was it Jorginho? Oh,
Jorginho.
So
Yeah.
Jorginho had match point at this point.
Yeah.
All of us were like, okay, he's going to score. The starter, hop, skip, jump incoming. Pickford has no chance because he's a penalty specialist.
Yeah.
He probably would have taken penalties for Italy if they ever had a penalty in open play. And
course.
Is that his first miss in like forever? I'm pretty sure it is, right?
I remember Leno saved one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh,
That's the last time I remember him missing.
Was that like this season?
Premier League, this season.
Okay, that's not that bad, that far. But yeah, I guess the expectation was it's game over for England.
Yep.
Once you saw him.
And up step my man Jordan Pickford, Mr. T-Rex hands himself. What a save!
It was so dramatic
I
and
was happy for
theatrical. It
him,
was like
honestly.
against the post,
I
and then he caught
I
it.
was celebrating. I was going berserk at that point because at that point I thought, okay, Pickford saved it. Okay, England are in the game. They're going to actually win this day. It might actually happen. It might be coming home.
And like as a neutral, I just wanted more twists and turns. So I was hoping for Pickford to save to see what happens. But then
what a save! What a save! I mean, I thought
I
I felt like, oh, okay. England.
I think it could be if there's a title for save of the tournament. I would say that's one. Granted the magnitude
the
of
magnitude and pressure. Probably.
Yeah.
I could
definitely.
say so.
Plus the whole dramatic theatrical nature against the post, he catches it. Oh, it's like
Wow. Yeah, I thought it was spill over.
I saw like
I thought it was going to spill over. Wow.
Okay. And then that happens, and then immediately, okay, all of us are debating who's going to be fifth penalty. Is it going to be Sterling? Is it going to be Grealish? Is it going to be one of the big players stepping up? Is it going to be another centre back?
No.
Up
It's going to be
steps-
It's going to be Bukayo Saka.
I think Arjun, you're the best person to walk us through what happened.
Walk us through.
Maybe walk us through how he felt walking up towards the penalty spot.
I knew he was going to miss. I knew he was going to miss, if I'm being honest. Just so that people know, I'm pretty sure you guys know already, but this was his first ever
competitive penalty.
Competitive penalty. I mean,
yeah. So why is Southgate choosing him?
So that's honestly my only I guess major criticism of Southgate. I think that should have been avoided. I mean, you can say in training these were the 5 best players, but there's a difference between doing it in training and then doing it in this occasion. And I like the fact that he trusts his youth. I like the fact that he's trying to involve Saka, Foden, and Bellingham. Obviously, in the future we will see more of him. But there comes a time where you need your experienced players to step up. And I'm not going to blame Sterling and Grealish because it was the manager's decision. I think Grealish posted on Twitter.
Yeah, there was a tweet. There's a tweet.
He offered to take the penalty. So it was down to Southgate, and I'm trying to find a devil advocate argument for Saka taking the 5th penalty. But I'm really struggling here. I don't see how you give pretty much the most important penalty in England's history till this day.
To the youngest player on the pitch.
19-year-old. Who has never, and he's not a penalty specialist as well. So I just cannot see the rationale. And the fact is that he's not someone who's taken penalties ever, even for Arsenal. So why give that risk to him? And as a youngster, obviously Saka's going to be, I will take it because he doesn't have that fear yet.
Maybe that was the gamble that Southgate was going for, because I think all this while penalties, right? Players with it is just I mean, you're saying you struggle with counter argument. This is what I feel. So perhaps the players who have more experience also take on more. I mean, they put more pressure on themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
And these younger players generally tend to play with no fear. And perhaps Southgate thought that a player with no fear maybe might be the best option to take the penalty. But I think it's still a very weak argument. Because I mean
Harry, if that's the case, why is Harry Kane taking a penalty? I mean, he has experience. He's probably one of the most experienced players there.
He's a penalty taker for England, So why not take him for the fifth penalty?
And Grealish is, I mean, he's a captain at Villa. And he takes penalties for Villa.
I don't think so. Actually,
he hasn't taken a penalty.
He hasn't taken penalty for 2 years actually.
He's only taken one, I think.
Because I think El Ghazi takes it for Aston Villa. I was mistaken for this also. I thought he was the penalty taker for Aston Villa, but he's not.
But my argument is that he does take penalties. Like maybe it's been some time, but he has the experience of taking penalties in a game. It is just so alien to me that they came to the conclusion that Saka should be the decisive penalty taker. Like even if that was the order they were going with before the shootout, I can understand that. But after seeing Jorginho's penalty being saved, you know that you have to score this next penalty to keep it in the game and give Pickford a chance to win it for you after that. I think Southgate should have stepped up, should have told Saka, you know what, I understand you have the confidence to do it, but I think right now we need the experience. And he should have given it to Grealish because Grealish was keen to take a penalty. I believe he should have made that decision. As harsh as it sounds, I think he should have done it.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know if you can change the pecking order while the penalty is going on. Okay.
I think you're supposed to submit the order.
I feel like you must submit, but whatever the case is.
Either way, I mean, if that was the case, Southgate, I mean, I guess it's another decision that is quite unpopular. But so far his unpopular decisions had paid off up until that point, and I think that was probably one of the very, very few decisions that was probably wrong. Southgate can put up his hand and say got it wrong. At that point.
I think, in fact, actually, the Saka substitution was actually very bright. If you see the whole I think Bonucci or Chiellini, tugged his shirt and brought him down. It was
How do we not talk about that? Yeah.
Basically, what I want to say,
like a child.
Basically, he was just running the defenders like they could have handled him, and he was doing so well. And to see him, end off like that and get all this sort of abuse or whatever that will come to is so disheartening and it's disappointing. At the end of the day, At the end of the day, his assist to Sterling was what got us into the final, right? So
the Denmark one, right?
How can you be there blaming him if he passed it to Sterling? So
to be fair, I think most fans have gotten behind him. Like they obviously you can't pin an entire defeat on a 19-year-old kid for missing a penalty. Like it just doesn't make sense. I mean, like what Vikas said, penalties are a lottery, and sometimes you get the benefit, sometimes you have this kind of harsh defeats. But I don't think anybody's fixating on him.
Yep. But I think this is a good point, good way to move to the post-match.
So anyway, that's
the theatrics.
Transitioning, I think, as England, like international England fans, right, we all want England to win. But I feel like the local English fans are more self-indulgent and self-absorbed than we think. And why I think this is so is I feel like they sometimes feel like since they haven't won in 55 years, they can be entitled and sort of go around saying that they're the best. Although it's kind of mockery of themselves, they're also trying to I don't know, they do it too much. And weird conspiracy theory is the karma of them doing that kind of backfired. And it's like, it's a weird sort of thinking I have, but the whole laser pointing thing, booing at national anthems, sort of Kane missing a penalty against Michael and barely, scoring, all that factors sort of turned into this negative karma ball and then went back to England to haunt them at the end. So transitioning to the whole fans' point of view of the game, I guess you guys want to talk about the whole social media uproar and stuff.
My God. I would say it's all not okay. In all honesty, yes, there's a lot of negativity surrounding the whole penalty, the 3 penalty takers who missed. I mean, first of all, disgraceful behavior, but I think it was completely expected. I mean, as unfortunate as it sounds, I think all football fans could say that it was expected, and frankly, it's quite sad that all of us expected lah. And I hope for a day that it comes to a point where but there's in all honesty, we can never fully kick it out, but we can take steps towards eradicating it. And I think that's what a majority of the people actually did, which I think was quite good to see as well. I think a lot of prominent figures were quick to protect these three players, especially. And this is something which I don't know if I've seen this before in a major, this kind of abuse, especially. Like, I haven't seen players come or major figures come to the defense of such players in such a magnitude. So I think that was one good thing to see. But I mean, and then again, this is just inexcusable behavior in my book.
Yeah, I think Talrun posted something on Instagram today. Do you want to share what he posted? He posted something on his story, right, about apparently domestic violence, domestic abuse is projected to rise after England's loss, and people were like apparently fighting and like abusing fellow black fans outside the stadium after the match, throwing beers at each other, throwing chairs at each other, all this kind of stuff. I think I read from Tarun's post, and if that's what
for anyone who's interested listening to this, I just shared the post by Jamila Jamil, the actress.
From Good Place, right?
Yeah, the Good Place actress.
And basically, after tumultuous 18 months for everyone around the world, including Italy, where I think it was one of the first few countries in Europe where COVID was struck. So England can go around saying, "Oh, we had it bad because we wanted to win because we had very bad 18 months because of COVID." NHS suffered a lot. Italy suffered, I think, equally or more than you. So
but I mean,
even every country suffered.
Every country suffered.
No, because they're using this as an excuse
argument
to say that.
That's not an excuse at all. I mean, everyone suffered. It's not an excuse. It's not. I mean, for us in Singapore, like we talked about last episode, booing another country's national anthem, it's like an unthinkable thing we can do, honestly, because we have, especially for people who have served the nation, like we know it. I mean, jokes about NS aside, we do have a sense of national pride. We do have a sense of belonging to our country and respect to other countries as well.
Yeah.
So for us, it's something infathomable. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, like when you have the national pride, obviously, like naturally, you will have that idea that other people have that pride for their country, and you would be respecting because you want to have that mutual understanding between people of different countries. But yeah, I guess within the stadium, the fans never took to that idea, and I mean, even after the anthem, they were booing the Italy players at the start. I remember when they just got the ball, and I mean, I just don't get it. I guess they were trying to contribute in their sense of trying to put off the opponent. And I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't hostile venues. Like even in Champions League, like if you go to like certain Italian clubs or Turkish clubs, the atmosphere can be hostile. But yeah, just the fact that it's happened throughout the tournament, and then the anthem thing, and then I saw a video of fans trying to storm Wembley before the game started.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And then I mean, like, these poor stewards. I mean, what can these 5-6 stewards do against like a flock of zombies?
Once again, I think it comes to the point of entitlement. Like you feel like you suffered a lot through COVID, therefore you deserve to be in the stadium. When someone has paid $1,000 or $2,000 for a ticket and you didn't pay for that, and you come across from the other side of the country to storm into a stadium, I think it's just indulgent, self-absorbent. You just want to think about yourself. You feel you deserve it more than the rest. I think that's ultimately the downfall of English fans. And I think, as I said, that sort of wrapped up in a karma ball went and hit back at the players who don't deserve it. Saka, Rashford, Sunday don't deserve it. What did they do?
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
if you want to go to the racist thing, I mean, without Sterling, without Saka, without
Calvin Phillips is also black.
I thought Rashford. I mean, we talked about the influence of the pitch, where you have a good team spirit. Let's say Rashford wanted to have a big ego, saying that he doesn't want to play second fiddle. He could easily become like the French camp, like what we saw with Mbappe and Giroud. I mean, everyone played their role to perfection. And honestly, this immigrant community within the national team is so important for them reaching the final. And I mean, in one instance, they can just forget that. Just forget about the whole tournament, lah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. I think because a lot of the English fans are working class, right? So they can relate to people like Sterling's, Rashford, who have worked their asses off to get where they are. And to see themselves being abused, right? I guess it's so unacceptable because they are a microcosm of a lot of the black or like underprivileged members of the society. So if you're racially abusing them, you're technically racially abusing the minority or like the black community they represent, which is completely unacceptable because, like I said, Calvin Phillips probably assisted the first goal in the Euros. Sterling, best player, Sancho, Rashford, Son, all of these are vital key players of the team, and you have the balls to go and disrespect the black community like this. I think it's quite unacceptable.
It's disgraceful. It's just disgraceful.
Yeah. And you talked about how much they've contributed to this team, right? And just for the sake of argument, right? Even if they didn't, right? Racism is unacceptable in all contexts and
Exactly. Yeah.
in any situation. So I think it's just, I guess with this situation you see the hypocrisy even more. It's like it's like when you celebrate them scoring the winner, then the next minute they do something wrong and then you just turn on them instantly and you forget the good things they've done. It's just sad that they remember them only by their failures and then take it out in an inappropriate manner. I mean, constructive criticism is okay. You can criticize a player. Yeah, he missed that penalty, fine, you can criticize him. You expected more of him. Fair enough. There's a logic to it, there's a constructiveness to that criticism. But once you try and to push it to racism,
right?
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Literally, what does that have to do with anything?
If anything, nowadays, like if I was Southgate, I'll be afraid to choose a black player towards a decisive spot kick. Let's say in Qatar or in Germany in the 2020 the next Euros. That's such a like.
And that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case.
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
But that's what it's come to.
It's really unfortunate.
I think England are the only country where the fans like fight among themselves. Like the whole black community and the non-black community. Just...
I mean, I think it's there present in many countries. It's just
like football hooliganism as a concept is not unique to England in any way, shape, or form.
That's true.
It's just and neither is racism lah. I mean, obviously, it's present in pretty much every country we can list out. It's just that right now England is being highlighted as the
hotspot,
the hotspot kind of because of what happened.
I think it hits us particularly harder, I guess, because we are football fans. That's the truth. So
and
minority, definitely, it definitely hits home for us. So also, do you guys see the viral video of English fans hitting or rather assaulting the Italian fans?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh. Was it outside the stadium? Or
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
It's again, scary. Honestly, scary. Honestly, very scary.
I mean,
because I saw the Italian fan like fall to the ground, right, and then 3 people just start kicking him, like, and then he's like looking up, and he's looking up in like he's just like puzzled, like why is this happening to me in that moment, and like what did he do to deserve that? And you can see him facially, like he looks like he's been let down by people that he expects to be his brothers, because at the end of the day we all love football, we're all football fans, and in a final sum there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser, like, and you shouldn't hold that personally against these fans. If anything, you should congratulate them for their victory, because and on an international stage, right, it's a huge thing when a nation wins a trophy, and obviously you can be disappointed, but there's a limit, and they cross the limit, way over the limit.
The line is like a dot to them at this point. It's just appalling. I wouldn't be surprised if let's say England won, right? I wouldn't be surprised to see an incident that happened after the game, it's just something that is not uniquely English, I would say, but it will. I can see it being exploded. I mean, I can see a similar situation happening, essentially.
So I think sort of closing on this fan hooliganism, football, violence, all this. Right? I think I just want to raise the point that this is absolutely like denigrating and degrading behavior that none of us condone, none of us are accepted towards it, but it happens. And I guess once again, it's the whole. I strongly believe it's the karma thing. England are always the favourites, and once we thought it could come home, but because some idiot pointed laser pointer, it didn't come home. I feel it's karma. End of the day, I feel it's as simple as that. You don't cause harm to others, and you will receive the benefit of your success, of your efforts. You won't. I just feel like you can't win always by sort of cheating and sort of booing the nation. All this kind of behavior won't last. It's just.
How ironic that it was a penalty that they tried to.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said. It's just like the football gods just try to play.
And then it was a penalty that That caused the downfall of England.
Yeah, I think the laser pointer ran out of battery.
Or maybe Kelly just blocked the light using his large hands. Oh no, sorry, Donnarumma using his gloves. He just but so I think with that I think we sort of do you guys have any other closing thoughts about the game?
Yeah.
Would it be another 55 years?
No. I do see them winning.
Okay.
Like
World Cup?
Within
World
this
Cup?
next decade. Who knows?
I
Maybe next
actually can
Euros?
see the entire
Next
Euro
Euros.
team.
I
The entire
made
Euro
a
team is probably
I
playing
made
for
a
Manchester.
prediction that they were going to win either the Euros or World Cup. I see them win the World Cup, honestly. I'm not going to lie.
Next year.
I think so. I feel.
I mean,
but-
it's not beyond possibility.
Yeah, it's not.
Another thing I want to raise also is the whole idea of, like Messi losing Copa America. We talked about at the start. He won it. Ronaldo losing it against Greece in 2004, then he won it in 2016. For players to hit that heights of heights, right, you have to hit the lows of lows first. And I feel like players like Rashford, Sancho, all these players who have got abused and whatever, putting the abuse aside, right, they have hit the lows of lows. I don't think I get lower than this. Missing a spot kick in important like shootout.
The most important
the
penalty
most
of your
important penalty
career.
of life.
Yeah,
I really hope that Saka like grows from this and he doesn't let. I mean, he's still at that stage where maybe he's mentally still malleable or fragile. So I hope he takes this in his stride and hopes that he sees that everyone is behind him and he's someone that I think everyone looks forward to seeing his development. And as an Arsenal fan, of course, I want to see him kick on from this and get better. And I'm pretty sure he's a very, how do I say, like, he's mature beyond his years, and I've seen that from the day he came in.
I feel like he's a very likable player. I've never hated him.
He's
He's very
apparently
likable.
in the English dressing room. He's quite a funny chap.
I mean,
That's what majority of the players say.
Shaw calls him his son. So I think he's
it's
a
nice to see
decent
that.
guy.
It's nice to see that.
It's nice to see that at least they don't represent what's happening outside. They're bonded and stuff. I guess that's what's going to bring them on the ascendancy. Because once you hit such a low, the only way is up now. And the likes of Trent, I think Tarun will be happy that Trent is going to be back in the squad for the World Cup. All these players are going to come back. I don't know, Greenwood may be back. That's going to boost.
I think that's the threatening thing about England for me in these upcoming years is that one, they have a very young squad. Most of the players that played regularly in these Euros, maybe barring the likes of like Harry Kane, maybe maybe except him, most of them will be hitting their peak or like in their prime for the upcoming years, the next Euros, the World Cup after that. So that's obviously going to be a huge plus point for England. And also they have a very good sense of team spirit and camaraderie. And that is probably the most important thing that you will need to have to win.
True. That wasn't seen in the whole golden generation, right? The whole rivalry between players.
Yeah, I think that was like back then there was a time when club rivalry was
very strong,
much bigger
much
than
bigger
it is
than
now.
Yeah.
Like
it was
even
definitely.
if you look at derbies back then, like compared to derbies now, it's just a lot less intense now.
Yeah. So I think that's hopefully not a sad note to like sort of end the podcast, unless you guys want to talk about anything.
I think in review, I think just Southgate and Mancini both have been the best managers of the tournament. I think both of them deserve. I mean, I heard Southgate might still be knighted, which
he was 2 centimeters away from getting.
Just wait until next year when they win the World Cup.
It's actually quite frightening to see where this team can go. Like what I said, Trent, Greenwood, all these.
Very excited, honestly.
It's not even the full strength. It's not even the full strength team yet. Like,
I mean,
as a neutral,
I just want to see like new countries coming up and getting the success. It's a bit boring when it's just France, Germany, Italy, France, Germany, Italy in phases.
Typical powerhouses,
So I think this is very good for international football. And I mean, I think we can all agree that our interest in club football has like completely overshadowed our interest in international football for many years. So let's hope that these players coming through will, I guess, increase the excitement and our engagement in that.
I don't know about you guys, but after this tournament, I wouldn't say I'm an England fan of blind loyalty. I actually support this team like purely like because I really like them. It's not because I watch English football, so I'm going to support England. This tournament has really changed that perspective, and I'll be behind them for the next tournaments. I don't know if you guys are also in that boat, but
As in, I would want them to do well.
Same.
But honestly, I'm a neutral.
Okay. So any final closing thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay. So guys. At the end of the day, despair, disappointment,
hope for the future.
a lot of words to describe the past few days. And as I said, it's been a very bad week personally for me in terms of my attachment to sports. Two of my idols got sort of dethroned. Another debate for another day. And adding to that, England got knocked out on possibly making history in 55 years. Hopefully, it's not another 55 years or 30 years. Hashtag.
To be fair, they did make history. It's
Yeah.
their second
Okay,
final
fair, true.
ever.
Yeah, actually, if you look at it in a positive light, it's still progress. like
It's
Vikas would
progress.
say.
It is progress.
There is progress.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, let's not evolve it.
Let's not get
Okay,
into
okay. Anyway, yeah. So it's still progress. It's better than the last time, and ultimately that's what progress means. And hopefully, if you take the next step is to win a tournament and
Yeah.
bring glory to England.
Semi-final,
So-
final winner. So yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
So yeah, I think that's about it from TNT. It's been an amazing journey discussing Euros. It's been a very enlightening journey also. I've never enjoyed discussing and watching international tournaments as much as this with my boys. So
It has been a super entertaining tournament
Yeah.
Yeah.
overall.
It's definitely
from
lived up to the
from the
hype.
very first match day, group stages, knockout stages, been insane.
Yeah, I think it's been quite memorable to see England going so far. So, and definitely, hopefully, not 55 years. Hopefully, 18 months, 15 months time, we can see some, or rather, hear some good news. But yeah, okay. So I think with that's the end of the podcast this episode, and hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're listening or if you're watching, you'll mean the world to us. If you liked our video or considered following us on Spotify, and also catching up on our future episodes. So yeah, with that, I think we like to wish everyone a sort of I don't know how to say. I feel like everyone is so down, but it's just me. But because I feel like everyone is an England fan, but I guess
It's probably just
I mean,
you, Rom.
yeah,
It's
Pramo, just
just
think
me.
of it as the beginning, not the end.
Yeah,
And there's a
it's-
lot more to
yeah.
come from this team.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be disheartened about.
Yeah. So yeah, with that, I guess we'll see you next time. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Ciao,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, guys.